In this episode, we talked to DillBoss, a rising hip hop artist and a graduate of the University of Miami. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the episode. I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Chilling. Started my first week of work, getting busy, getting after it.
Yeah,
But
how's that been?
it's been pretty solid. The job is pretty cool. Meeting some dope people. I'm in the medical sales industry now. So basically I'll be able to like travel hospital to hospital, sell some products, get to install stuff. It's just a good starter job out of college type thing. So I'm looking forward to it. Finally
What
got some markets.
yeah.
Shit.
What company is it?
Medline. They're
Medline.
headquartered in Chicago, but we literally like travel everywhere. So it's gonna be a good time.
That's cool. Are you still in Miami then, or no?
Yeah, I'm still in Miami. I'm gonna move to Tampa, so a little north, save a little bit of rent money, and still just be able to travel. I'll be back and forth to Miami a lot still though, so it'll be
Yeah.
cool. It'll be
So
cool.
it's a sales job. Do you do a lot of like? Is it mostly all online stuff?
No, so actually we're going like hospital to hospital, talking to surgeons, doctors.
Okay.
And if we see any spots like, yo, maybe they can have a better product right here. We literally have a million products and we could try to like, sell them something that's better than what they already have type thing. But we do anything from like blood pressure cups to catheters, uh, surgical gloves, like soaps, like a whole lot of shit. So
Yeah.
it's gonna
You
be
you've
lit.
been you've been to Tampa before?
I've been there once. I literally went after
Once.
graduation, but I'm hearing a lot of good things about it. Um,
Yeah.
People are saying it's like Miami's little brother. So
I've been there. I've been there. I want to say like two times. I lived there near there. Um
you're in
in Braden
Orlando, right?
no Bradenton. It's like 40 minutes away from Tampa when I went to high school at
Yeah.
IMG. It's a boarding school there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I got to go to Tampa a couple times.
Fine.
Again, like twice maybe, and then to Sarasota. I think I also went there, which is near Tampa.
Yeah, gotcha. So there's Sarasota, yeah, Bradenton, and then like Clearwater. They're all like right
All
around.
around there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've heard good things, so I'm sure it'll be nice. It'll be
Yeah.
different to Miami for sure, though.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I heard it's still a lot of shit to do though. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So that's good, man. I know you've been, getting into aside from like the job itself, but you've also been focusing on your music.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
how's that going?
It's been going well. I took a low key year, just making sure I have a lot of content, making sure I got some money in my pockets as well, because I want to start investing more into my music. I really want to go heavy into the visuals of everything. I got the content. I'm just ready to make sure I got a proper rollout, and this next year is going to be very important for my career.
Yeah. So I know. So you rap, and
Absolutely.
kind of make, but you don't just rap. You make more rhythmical, I guess, music.
For
It's
sure.
not just
Melodical too. Yeah.
straight rap.
Right.
What
Right.
do you like to do?
I like to do it all. Honestly, I could hit you with the bars. I could hit you with some crazy melodies. And one thing that I always came to learn about myself is I could tackle any genre. So I'll give you the bars, but I could also give you some pop. I could give you some reggae. I could give you some dance hall. I could literally do it all. And my next step is kind of figuring out like, do I want to do one big project where I bring everything into one, or do I want to do separate smaller projects where I focus on one genre? But basically over this last couple of years, I've been experimenting with a lot. Um, I can literally do it all. So I'm just kind of figuring out what sound I'm going to take further. But literally what I try to do is make myself available and able to do anything I put my mind to with the music. So
So
that's
you're
what I can do with
kind
that.
of balancing your work and your music at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you do that? Because I imagine, you know, it's not easy. I mean, it's similar in the sense that when you were in school, you know, you still had to figure both things out at the same time.
Right.
So in that sense, I mean, you still, it's somewhat similar, but again, it's also different because it's not like you can, oh, maybe prioritize the music so much that then you don't do your work properly because then you get fired. It's
Right.
different as a school, you know. In school, all right,
Sure.
maybe I don't put in that much effort in this project and I'll get a B minus, and it is what
Right.
it is. But you can't have that attitude in the real job. So how are you like managing that?
Right. Like you said, I mean, the work is different than school because the work is how I'm eating. So you got to take that serious for sure. It really just comes down to desire and your will to really want to make it happen. So I listen to beats all day. So I know which songs I really want to make a song to. And I'll literally have the lyrics in my head for weeks before I even record the song. So from there, it's pretty easy to figure out what's going to be my favorite song to record when I'm able to record it. And by doing that, I'm recording a song that I already like. So whenever I'm in a studio, I'm recording something that I could see being a single. And from there, I could just take one song or one project that I really like and just go all in with it from there. So from there, since I'm balancing two things, you just take the favorites of what you're thinking about creating and then just pushing it all from there. You don't have to make a million songs just to find one hit. For me, I just literally listen to beats all day. I know which beat is going to be the one that I focus on. And from there, I just focus my release process. So balancing everything, it's not too hard. I don't have to make a million songs just to come out with one song. Like I know every song that I record is something that I really love. So it's still very doable to balance both.
Who makes your beats? Do you just find them online?
I have a few guys that I work with. So one of my
Okay.
main guys is Charlotte. He went to the University of Miami. Also, Younger Next Life. They from the DMV. They went to the University of Miami as well. Doing some crazy things in the industry right now with various artists. They recently had a joint with Future and Young Scooter on his recent album, and that album went #1. So they had a very important part in that project. So they're two guys I love to work with. There's also like 3 or 4 YouTube producers that I've been doing some work with over the past 3-4 years, and people be knocking the YouTube producers, but they do some pretty crazy shit, and they're getting recognized for that, even though they started on such humble beginnings on the YouTube side. So I definitely listen to a little bit of everything everywhere, but the two closest people I work with, definitely Cherry Lip and Younger Next Life.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's I mean, at first when anyone starts, you know, or most people, you're not gonna have the money, the reputation to, like you said, those YouTube the people that start on YouTube, right? You start smaller and then you grow bigger. It starts at that, it starts there for like everything. You have to start small. And
That's it.
yeah, some people have like some sort of notoriety from the beginning because they have some sort of status in some other way, right? Or they
Right.
have money that perhaps they can go into this big fancy studio and use it, but most people don't. Like for example, for a while I've been wanting to, ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to try to make EDM music.
Hmm.
And I was always interested in DJing and trying to, I would always look at the big festivals and the DJs that go up there, and it's just an atmosphere that I think it's very, very cool. And I was
For
like,
sure.
oh man, it'd be dope to be in front of all those people. You making this music, well, the music that you made, you're playing it for all these people, and everyone is enjoying something that you made. And I
Right.
think that's really awesome. So I wanted to try it out for a while.
It's a
And
crazy feeling for sure.
yeah, and so recently I decided, you know what? I mean, I'm not sure what I want to do once I graduate. Um, I'm gonna work, but I'm not sure what I want to work in for sure, right? There's nothing that I really find passion in, right? But I've always wanted to try this, and so I'm starting to try it out, trying to make some simple stuff because I don't know much more. I'm using Logic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
On the
it's
Mac, right?
Yeah, on the Mac.
Yeah,
So it's a complicated software that I don't really know much about, and
yeah,
I'm gonna learn as I go, right? But it's I got to start somewhere, like you said, and for those producers, they maybe start in YouTube. You got to start small and then build your way up.
for
So
sure.
that makes sense.
Got to put your time
Yeah,
in. But yeah, the software is definitely it takes some time to get used to. I started mixing my own vocals during the pandemic, and the progression I've had since starting it way back then is crazy. So I mean, I've been doing it for 2 years now, and it takes time, but you start figuring it out and hitting your stride with it once you keep practicing for
yeah,
sure.
and you gotta. I mean, from my understanding, you gotta have some sort of um, music theory knowledge, at least something basic, because at least for see, well, I mean, I guess for any type of musical creation, whether it's vocals or making a beat, you have to have knowledge about music.
Yeah,
But for making beats, you have to know which chords go together and chord progressions and all that stuff. And if you don't, and I don't really know much about it.
yeah,
I've played a little bit of the piano before. I used to play the drums a little bit also, but I don't know much more like aside
yeah,
from that. So it's something I have to get into. I have to
for
learn.
sure.
But
You'll
I'm
get there.
excited. Yeah.
For sure. The chord progressions and the music theory is definitely something the producers got to know a little more than the artists, because working with those softwares and stuff like that, it could definitely take some time to make sure those chord progressions are right. But I was lucky. My mom made me take vocal and choir all the way from middle school to high school. And that's how I just really understood how melodies worked. I wouldn't consider myself a super good singer or anything, but just knowing how to work melodies has helped me a lot. And I'm able to make things sound good. I wouldn't consider myself a Trey Songz or anything, but I know how to make a melody work and how to make it work and flow with a beat as well. So uh my mom definitely helped me get into something I wasn't that interested in, but it's paid off huge dividends because now I love to make this music. So
Yeah. I imagine it's different for each genre of music, but like what's the industry like, at least in hip hop and your style of music? Like how does one, I guess, move up the ranks, and what's the process to do that?
right.
I mean, because I don't know too much about it. I and I'm sure, like I said, I think I would imagine that it's different for each genre of music, but at least for yours,
Yeah.
like how is it done?
So over the past like 3 or 4 years, hip hop has become the number one most consumed genre. So there's people that you see that are truly talented and they're making it, and then you see some people that they're not really the most talented, but they figured out ways to just market themselves and separate themselves from the crowd. So at this point, um, during the pandemic, like myself, I was able to get a little in-home studio, start recording my own music and mixing my own music. Because of the pandemic, a lot of people started rapping, like straight up. A lot of people just started rapping that never rapped before. And there's a lot of people that are genuinely talented. And there's also a lot of people that nobody knows. I'm in a point of my career where I think I found my sound. Uh, I'm 100% confident in everything that I create. But your way into getting in the industry and making sure you're known is just marketing, promotion, and visuals. And with me being out of college and being able to have my own funds, that's something that I'm going to be focusing on. So making sure I have those visuals, making sure I have that marketing behind me. Um, I just have to find different ways to differentiate myself, make sure I stand out from the crowd. But basically, the industry is full of talent. Like so many people have talent now, which, take it back to the 90s, you'd be famous just damn near for being able to rap. But now everybody can fucking rap. So you just have to find ways to differentiate yourself. And that's the stage I'm in.
Yeah. You said, you now have time to, or money to put into to invest, which before in school you don't really have that
Right.
luxury. And you mentioned visuals. What do you mean by visuals? Do you mean like music videos? Do you mean
Right. Music
wait,
videos,
what do you mean?
visualizers, TikToks, the whole nine. I'm going to be hiring different TikTok creators to do things in my sound. stuff like that. So I'll be able to invest in stuff like that and make sure I'm giving myself the best shot that I can. But in college, it just kind of got to a point where I have a lot of hits in the stash, like shit that if I dropped it right now and really had the money to throw it in, it's a done deal hit. But in college, like I released a few projects, did a lot of singles, and it was just a certain point where I didn't want to waste drops. And if I didn't have the money behind it, I didn't really want to drop it because I believe in these songs so much that I want to like go all in on them. So the second semester of college, well, my senior year, I really started just kind of chilling and making sure I was recording and making sure I had everything in line. So that's what I've been doing, and just making sure that I'm setting myself up in the best positions possible.
Yeah, that's fair. That's smart. I mean, if you don't have like the ability right now to put it out as much as you'd want to,
Yeah,
and to or maybe not have the notoriety yet that you maybe plan to achieve in the future, then like you said, if you have these songs that are really good, then you're kind of not giving yourself the best chance to succeed
right.
if you put them out at a time when they just won't reach that big of an audience.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
why even waste the drop? So I have a lot coming, but I just want to be able to give myself the best shot on every future drop that I have.
Yeah, that's smart. And so once let's say, you get to that point where you're now think, okay, now I'm at a point where I can now release, I don't know, a specific song that I made that I think is really good. And let's say you put it out and it's a good song. It gets viewed and it succeeds, I guess.
Mhm.
Um what comes next? What comes after that? Like, do you reach out to labels? Do labels reach out to you? How does that work?
For the most part, labels and A&Rs, they'll probably find you, but there's ways to contact them as well. From there, it's just continuing doing what you're doing. I think having one breakout song is good, but you have to be able to display that consistency as well. Some people, they have one song they blow up on, and then they sign right away, and sometimes it's too quick. I'm working under management right now, so once I have that song, basically I would be in close contact with them and making sure I'm making all the right decisions at the right time. But in music, it's a very fragile game. You really have to make the right decisions at the right time when it comes to signing deals and things like that. But I would definitely look into it. Maybe start off with distribution deals and not, outright like all around deals like 360 deals and stuff like that. But I would probably keep it distribution or promotional. And from there, I just kind of see where it goes. But there's a lot of people in the industry that I've been starting to connect with, but I'm in no rush to sign anything. I still need to kind of figure everything out on my own, but I feel like I got the hits, but just got to make sure I'm making the right decisions at the right time,
Yeah, that's important.
for
Is
sure.
there is there a specific or is there a particular city or place in here in the US where it's kind of like the hub for
Oh yeah.
rising rap artists?
Yeah, definitely LA and New York. That's where a lot of the labels are. And then LA is just like everything in one. So New York, I mean, you have all of the biggest businesses. LA is just like the biggest art scene as a whole, not even just music. So those are the two biggest spots. Obviously, a lot of artists, they come from Atlanta, but I mean, I've seen people move to New York and LA just to freaking couch surf and shit just to make their way up and make their connection. So like for those who are willing to just go 100% in and just like even deal with a couple of years of being a nomad, those are the two places that people go. So
Yeah, because such a big part of the entertainment industry, the music industry is connections, and being
yeah,
at those places, it gives you the best chance at meeting people that can help I guess boost your stock, to put
right,
it that way.
right.
especially in LA, and LA is kind of like a hub for all types of music. That's why I was asking. I wasn't sure if LA was as for hip hop as well. I've heard
Yeah.
a lot of rappers kind of like not necessarily originate, but they um focus some of the music like around Chicago or
Mhm.
like you said, Atlanta. I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
LA was like a hub for it because I know it
Yeah.
is, for example, for electronic music or for pop artists or things like that.
Yeah, no, I mean LA still I mean it has a little bit of everybody, but people will still do it even in the hip hop industry. I mean, I've even heard about people couch surfing, and you never know because they still got hundreds, thousands of followers, but you know how expensive LA gets. And they're just betting on themselves, which I respect a lot, but they're definitely couch surfing for sure.
Yeah. Do you want to go to either LA or New York at some point? Do you want to live there or not? Not
I'll make some
necessarily.
trips. I'll make some trips. I don't know if I'll live there, but there's people that I have in both cities. So if anything, I stay connected by calling them, FaceTiming them. I get to travel a lot with my work, so I'll be able to pay some visits once I'm over in that area. So I don't think I would live there, but I'd definitely stay closely connected with those towns and make sure I'm still involved.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You gotta at the end of the day, if you don't live there, you gotta be in some way involved
Exactly.
with those places because you meet people there. Um and maybe even, if you end up signing with a label or something, they will most likely have their like centers there, their
Headquarters.
headquarters there.
Yeah.
So in some way you're probably going to end up being present in those places at some point.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
in that sense that makes sense, but um I guess right now you'll stick to Tampa. That's your
Yeah. I'll stick to Tampa.
yeah.
See where everything goes. But yeah, I'm still 22. I got time to figure everything out. A lot of things that I've read up on, like you don't even really reach your peak artistry career till you're like 26. So I got time. Just gonna keep working, keep investing in the craft, and seeing where it goes from there.
Yeah. I imagine that you want to get to a point where you do that full time.
We'll see what happens. We'll definitely
Okay.
see what happens. I love music enough to do it full time, but um, I gotta pick and choose wisely for sure. But I love music and I would give it my all if it's something that I could live comfortably with for sure.
Yeah. But you'd also maybe be interested in working maybe in your company or in some other
Yeah, for
company.
sure. I mean,
Okay.
the potential with the industry I'm working in is pretty insane to say the
Yeah.
least. So either direction I go, I'm gonna be great and well off, but I'll always be making music one way or another and pushing the music as well. Cause I mean it's just what I love to do
Yeah. I
for
mean,
sure.
that makes sense. And like you said, you also have your, at least for now, you have your job where you can
Right.
um live from because you need that
Yeah,
income some way or another.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of stuff up your sleeve, a lot of music that you'll probably release, like you said, in the coming year or coming, months, years, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Um, I'm looking forward to it. I've
I
listened to your
appreciate it.
music. I like it. It's good
Thank
music.
you. Thank you.
Um, and I'm sure if when you get to reach a wider audience, I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate it as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I put a lot of work, a lot of hours into it. I just want to make sure I'm reaching that audience because once I reach that audience, I know it's going to be all up from there. It's going to be all up. So just got to find the right audience, make sure they're getting reached out to, and they'll gravitate to it for sure. I got some shit up my sleeve.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean, it was good catching up, good talking to you.
Absolutely.
Uh, it was good knowing that you're doing well.
Thank you.
Do you want
Thank
to
you.
do you want to do you want to plug your wherever people can reach you and your music?
Absolutely. So I'm DillBoss. My Instagram is one DillBoss. You can catch me on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, the whole nine. Wherever you need me, I'm at. So just search DillBoss in whatever search bar you have. I'll be the first thing that comes up. Definitely check out my latest project, Cali Boss. I'm being patient right now. There's gonna be a whole lot of drops. The rest of these 6 months of this year, be on the lookout for a lot of music videos, a lot of visuals, and trust I'm coming harder than ever. So tap in. If you're seeing this right now, it's gonna be a lot of progression from right now to the next few years. So just be ready.
All right, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, of course, man. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.